Welcome back to Easy English Talk. Whether you're listening on your morning commute, doing some chores around the house, or sitting at your desk for study time, thank you so much for tuning in. Hi everyone, I'm Julia and I'm here with Jason. Today we are diving into a frustration that pretty much every single language learner faces at some point. You know the feeling, right? You know the grammar perfectly, your vocabulary is pretty big, and you can read complex articles with no problem. But the moment you actually have to open your mouth and speak, you just freeze up.
Oh, it is the worst feeling. It's totally paralyzing. But if that sounds like you, trust us, you are absolutely not alone.
Exactly. We've analyzed a ton of great sources today, from ESL transcripts to real-world Reddit threads, to help you out. Our roadmap for today is right on the screen. First, the fluency frustration. 2, overcoming the fear. 3, the power of daily habits. 4, practicing English alone. And 5, breaking the solo plateau. All right, let's jump straight into section 1, the fluency frustration, knowing versus speaking. So let's look at the core problem that plagues almost every non-native speaker after years of traditional classroom study. Picture this relatable scenario. You're at a coffee shop, or maybe you're in a Zoom meeting for work. Someone asks you a totally normal question. You know all the words, you know exactly what you want to say. But suddenly, your mind just goes completely blank. You stammer, you feel embarrassed, and the moment passes.
Yep, been there. Why does that happen? Well, it happens because your brain is trying to frantically translate thoughts from your native language into English, while simultaneously fact-checking every single grammar rule before you even make a sound. It's just too much processing at once.
And this image brilliantly illustrates the disconnect. Our sources point out that a lot of learners spend months memorizing those classic lists of basic questions. You know the ones, like, how often do you drink alcohol, or what's your major?
Right, but real high-pressure conversations demand a completely different set of skills. Real life just doesn't follow a script. You cannot memorize your way to fluency, because being conversational requires instant reflexes, not just memory recall.
Moving right along to section 2, overcoming the fear, the psychology of speaking. So if memorization isn't the answer, what is actually stopping us from practicing the right way? Before we even look at practical techniques, we have to talk about the massive psychological barrier holding you back: fear. According to the My English Matters blog, there are 3 main culprits that silence us. First, a fear of judgment. You know, worrying that people are going to laugh at your accent or judge your grammar. Second is crippling perfectionism, that false belief that you simply cannot speak until you can speak flawlessly. And third is unfair comparison, comparing your messy, real-life learning process to other people's polished highlight reels on social media. That leads us directly into how we treat ourselves in our own heads. The transcript from the Chill English channel emphasizes a really crucial distinction here. Harsh self-talk creates fear. It makes you want to hide, avoid speaking, and ultimately give up. But on the flip side, kind self-talk creates a safe environment in your own mind. When you're nice to yourself, slow, steady progress actually becomes possible. And that brings us to a quote I absolutely love from the Chill English channel. Slow progress is still progress. We so often miss our own small signs of improvement because we're waiting for some dramatic, overnight transformation. Exactly. Just surviving a difficult, awkward conversation without giving up, that is a real sign of progress. Understanding just one more sentence than you did yesterday without translating it in your head, that is progress. Okay, let's get into section 3. The power of daily habits. Consistency is key. So how do we shift from being paralyzed by fear to actually making tangible progress? We have to change how we practice. Language learners over on Reddit unanimously agree on a fundamental truth. Consistency usually beats intensity.
This is huge. Short 10 to 15-minute daily sessions are far more effective than exhausting 3-hour study binges on a Sunday. If you study for 3 hours on Sunday and do absolutely nothing the rest of the week, your brain just forgets it all. But if you touch the language every single day, you reinforce those neural pathways before they can fade.
To actually put this into action, we're looking at a highly practical 2-week roadmap. Week 1 is all about building passive daily habits. This means listening to English podcasts on your commute, or maybe just narrating your morning routine in your head.
Then week 2 transitions to active real-world use. This is where you physically speak out loud, maybe record yourself on your phone, and actually utilize the language rather than just consuming it.
Which brings us perfectly to section 4, practicing English alone, solo techniques. Here is the big question. What exactly should you be doing during those short daily sessions if you are just sitting in your bedroom and you don't have a speaking partner? Well, a comprehensive guide from Engvarta details 7 solo techniques that genuinely move the needle. The best part? You can execute all of them completely alone. They range from shadowing native speakers to reading aloud, self-narration while you cook dinner, and using AI pronunciation apps. Let's look a bit closer at 2 of my absolute favorites. First up is shadowing. The crucial point of shadowing is how it bypasses your brain's tendency to overthink. By repeating what a speaker says with just a half-second lag, you are training your mouth and facial muscles to form English sounds at native speed.
Right, and you're doing it without the heavy cognitive load of trying to invent original sentences. You're just tracing their rhythm and intonation. It's like singing along to your favorite song, but for speaking.
Another incredibly powerful technique is the 60-second rule. You pick a totally random topic and speak aloud for 1 minute straight. But here's the catch. You cannot stop, and you cannot go back to correct a grammatical mistake. This trains your brain to prioritize forward motion over perfect grammar. In the real world, real conversations punish long, awkward hesitations way more than they punish small grammatical errors. Just keep talking. You can also leverage modern tech by using AI as your solo partner. An educational document from FEAA outlines some fantastic prompts you can try. You can ask an AI to provide sentence starters to help build your structural vocabulary. You can even tell the AI, hey, role play as a kindergarten teacher and speak very slowly to me to help lower your anxiety. Plus, you can have it assess your spoken responses against official language frameworks to track your real progress. It's a game changer. But we have to remember something important here. As all of our sources heavily warn, passive listening or silent reading only builds comprehension. To actually improve your speaking, you must physically move your mouth.
Exactly, Jason. Writing essays or reading grammar rules silently does not train the physical muscles or the specific neurological pathways required for spontaneous speech. You've got to speak it into existence.
Moving to our final section. Section 5, breaking the solo plateau, entering the real world. As amazing as these solo tools are, there is an honest mechanical limit to what practicing alone in your bedroom can achieve. The Engvarta article notes a specific timeline here. Pure solo practice will inevitably plateau around weeks 8 to 10.
Why?
Well, you can confidently talk to yourself or an AI all day long without fear, but you just cannot build under-pressure conversational reflexes without a real, unpredictable human being on the other side of the conversation. To break this plateau, the data suggests a specific magic number: 3. Once you hit that intermediate wall, you need to pair your 10-minute daily solo warm-ups with at least 3 live one-on-one conversational sessions a week with a real person.
Doing this injects that necessary, real-world social pressure right back into your practice. It forces your brain to adapt to spontaneous follow-up questions and real-time listening.
So before we wrap up today, let's quickly recap 5 keywords we touched on today to help you remember them. Paralyzing, when you completely freeze up. Reflexes, for reacting instantly without thinking. Perfectionism, which is the need to be totally flawless. Consistency, meaning doing something regularly. And plateau, when your progress temporarily stops.
Awesome recap. All right, here is your quick speaking challenge for today. I'm going to ask 3 simple questions. I want you to pause the audio and answer them out loud right now. Ready? 1. What is your favorite way to practice English? 2. What is one topic you can easily talk about for 60 seconds? And 3. When will you schedule your 15-minute practice today?
We're leaving you with this final thought. The path to fluency isn't hidden in a textbook. It's waiting in the messy, imperfect practice of daily speech. Your simple homework today is to drop a comment below using the word consistency in a sentence.
Will you keep hiding behind grammar books, or will you take that small, 15-minute daily risk to finally achieve true fluency? The choice is yours. If you enjoyed this explainer, please hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Thanks for hanging out with us on Easy English Talk, and we'll catch you next time.